Okay, so I was scrolling down my Twitter feed the other day when something completely unexpected caught my attention. It looked like a trailer for a new Jet Set Radio game. But it couldn't be. Sega doesn't listen to fans. And sure enough, at second glance, it was something else. Arguably something even better. An upcoming game called Bomb Rush Cyberfunk, which seems to be some kind of indie reimagination or spiritual successor of Jet Set Radio. In this video, I'm going to be analyzing any information about the game that has been released as of yet, and I'll also give my own opinion at the end. The art style, music, and overall presentation of the trailer are so similar to the Jet Set Radio games that I hope the developers, Team Reptile, won't be getting into any legal trouble with Sega. They even went as far as getting the exact same composer for the music. Yeah, they got Hideki Naganuma. And it's not even the first time this has happened. There's another game called Hover that also tried to appeal to Jet Set Radio fans by hiring Naganuma for the soundtrack. He did a great job, while the game sadly didn't live up to expectations. If you pay close attention to the trailer, you will notice that there's not a single person skating, which is definitely a huge difference to the original games. Since this trailer is pretty short and there's not much else to see, let's move on to the description and feature list on Steam to get a deeper understanding of what this game has to offer. Team Reptile brings you Bomb Rush Cyberfunk, 1 second per second of highly advanced funk style. In a world from the mind of Dion Costa, where self-styled crews are equipped with personal boost packs, new heights of gravity are reached. Start your own cipher and dance, paint, trick, face off the cops, and stake your claim to the extrusions and cavities of a sprawling metropolis. Essentially, there are two things worth noting here. The so-called personal boost packs and the dance aspect. The boost packs can actually be seen in the trailer as well as in the screenshots on top. This, and the fact that they are specifically talking about the extrusions and cavities of the city, makes me think that the gameplay might be a lot more vertical than the trailer might suggest. That leaves the question, what's up with the dancing? Will dancing actually be playing a huge role regarding gameplay, or is it just part of the aesthetic? With the material at hand, I'm afraid we can't answer this question right now. Facts. In this game you can choose a character from your crew and explore the three-dimensional streets freely. So you choose pre-made characters from a crew, instead of creating your own, just like in Jet Set Radio. Exploring seems to be handled a bit differently though, since you're allowed to explore freely and don't have to unlock the different districts. Each stage is a neighborhood that represents one time of day. This leaves a lot of room for speculation. Maybe a hectic morning rush hour setting, a more laid-back evening stage, or the obligatory downtown nightlife thing. You can grind, slide, jump, trick, and air dash to move around. That sounds pretty much like standard Jet Set Radio controls. The characters are of course walking instead of skating, and there's the addition of the boost pack, but overall the moveset seems pretty similar. The goal is to get your name up on the wall. Every stage has many spots to find where you can paint graffiti. You will encounter a lot of weirdos. Oh, I hope so. The more the merrier. FAQ. Will the game have online multiplayer? The experience is focused on single player, no further comment as of yet. When will the game be released? Not this year. It's unlucky. Remember the future? Nothing for nothing. I'm not sure what this last one is supposed to mean. Maybe something with Jet Set Radio Future? If you know more, please enlighten me in the comments below. The system requirements are nothing out of the ordinary. Just what I would expect from an indie game with this kind of art style. Of course, they had to flex one last time that they got Hideki Naganuma for the soundtrack. Let's have a brief look at the developer to get a better idea what kind of game we can expect from them. Team Reptile is a small independent studio from the Netherlands. As far as I can tell, it mainly consists of two people. Tim Remmers, who's responsible for the art and 3D assets, and Diane Costa, who serves as game director. So far they have released 3 games. Megabyte Punch, which is some kind of 2.5D platformer where you can play around with different weapons. Honestly, I haven't played it, but it looks fun. And then there are the Lethal League games, both of which I have played and deem excellent. By the way, for the second one, Lethal League Blaze, they also worked with Hideki Naganuma. Lethal League is a fast-paced ball/fighting game, where the ball can kill you, hence the name. Personally, I'm a huge fan, especially of the first one. I even bought the limited run physical release, as well as the soundtrack. Both games look and feel like they are made by a pretty small team, but they are also made with a lot of care and polish. Bomb Rush Cyberfunk is without a doubt their most ambitious project yet. The art style of the Lethal League games always reminded me a bit of the Jet Set Radio franchise, which leads me to my own humble opinion. Ever since they worked with Naganuma for the second game, I knew this was intentional and that they were also huge fans of the franchise. They did a good job with the Lethal League games, so I was kinda hoping that their next project would be something like this, and I'm glad to see it actually is. I grew up playing hours upon hours of Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, and I'm still used to the way grinding works in this game. Both grinding and changing your direction works a little bit differently in Jet Set Radio, which is why I've always had problems with the game's controls. The controls of Lethal League, on the other hand, are super precise, so hopefully they'll be just as good in Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. I'm sure the controls of Jet Set Radio are fine, that's just a personal struggle. It's definitely a good decision to focus on the single player experience. Games that revolve around complicated movement systems tend to be frustrating in multiplayer if you can't keep up with your friends. The more I think about it, the more Bomb Rush Cyberpunk starts to remind me of another weird game, Sunset Overdrive. I know this is a bit of a stretch, but hear me out. As of yet, we haven't seen any skates in this game, so movement will consist mostly of running and grinding, just like in Sunset Overdrive. There's also one other thing that reminds me a bit of Sunset Overdrive. This picture of Vinyl Girl Diane Costa shared on his Twitter. She has this ridiculous record player strapped to her wrist. The design might be based on the Sony PSF9 record player, but that's not the first thing I thought of when I saw the picture. We don't see her actively listening to music. There are no headphones visible, and it looks like she's standing there in some kind of combat victory pose, after she cut apart the circle in the background. So I thought of this as more of a weapon rather than a record player, which reminded me of this weapon from Sunset Overdrive. It's a gun that lets you shoot vinyl records. While it's clear that we won't be fighting hordes of zombies in Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, it's more than likely that we will be able to battle with the police. They haven't shown any of this, and it is pure speculation, but I doubt that the combat system will be similar to the one in Jet Set Radio. We know for sure that Vinyl Girl is in the game. She even made it into the trailer. There's no record player in the screenshot though. Overall, I'm really excited for the game. So much so that I made this video, which is the first time I used the script and made quote-unquote quality content. God, this took me way too long. Anyways, I think this is the right studio at the right time, hopefully making the right game. Thanks for watching, hope you liked it, have a good night.